Hello there. Welcome to the 6th episode of Fulcrum channel. My name is Sebastian. As always, this is Tyler. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. How about you?
Not bad, not bad. We got some good Star Wars news this weekend. I'm actually really excited. Plus, as we're going through the news, we'll be able to talk lore, as we usually do. We're going to have lots of fun, so why don't you get right into it?
All right, so I'm going to start us off with the ship, character, and planet of the week. So basically, what I chose for this week is the Venator-class Star Destroyer. You know the Venator?
Yes, it's the Republic ship.
Yeah, it's the predecessor to the Imperial One-class Star Destroyer. So
Yes.
basically, they served throughout the Clone Wars, and a little up until the end of, I think a few months past Revenge of the Sith, 90 BBY. But then they became the Imperial Venator, and then they became the Imperial... Well, they were just thrown away on Bracca and other planets.
Yeah, as we saw in Fallen Order, where they got scrapped.
Not gonna lie, I don't really like Venators personally.
Why not?
I just don't.
Oh, is it
I like the Imperial One class better. It's just my opinion.
The Imperial Star Destroyer seems more sleek. The
No,
Venator,
it's just classic.
yeah, it's like
It's simple. It just resonates in my mind.
Yeah.
That's what I saw first, anyways. So the planet of the week is a very, 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 very busy planet, Coruscant. There's always something going on there. If it's General Grievous attacking the power core, or if it's somewhere down in the depths of it on level 1313.
Ooh.
Hopefully Boba Fett game. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Pray. But basically, the Senate is also there, and I mean both literally and technically literally.
Yeah.
Because there's two Senates. There's the Senate, and then there's the Senate.
Yeah, Palpatine, when he declared himself the Senate in Revenge of the Sith.
I am the Senate.
I am the Senate.
Not
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah. Oh, also the Jedi Temple's there. It's the homeworld of the Jedi, so...
And
yeah.
a Sith temple underneath.
Yeah, that's why Anakin felt cold in Episode 1. Because he could feel it. He could feel the energy more than they could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of funny because, well, he was sort of out of tune with the Force, but also so in tune at the same time.
Yeah, he's the chosen one, so he kind of has that natural, I guess, affinity to it.
He's like, hey, guys, don't you feel cold, guys? No.
Yeah, and they just chalked it up to him, like, missing his mother.
Or just being cold because he lives on Tatooine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, the character for the week I actually brought along with me. It's a new guest, Ahsoka Tano. Ahsoka Tano was the Padawan of Anakin Skywalker. She served from the Battle of Christophsis.
She's actually right there.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, she doesn't want to stand up, so that's why she falls over.
Yeah.
So basically, I'll just cut here.
Yeah.
So basically, this is her Rebels appearance.
Mm-hmm.
Here, you want to hold?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
So basically, she served from the Battle of Christophsis to the Siege of Mandalore with Captain Rex and a couple of others. She was very headstrong in the beginning, and then Dave Filoni was like, I'm going to make this actually a good character. Everyone hated Ahsoka at the beginning. I think myself included a little bit, but
Yeah.
I grew to like her in the end because she became a great character, and then she appeared in live action.
Yeah, I know. The fact that she was Anakin's apprentice.
And good friend, too.
Yeah, really brought a lot of weight to the franchise, especially in the Rebel series.
Yeah.
Like, we got to see kind of the heartbreak she went through, like not knowing what happened to Anakin, and then finally finding out, like, that he became Vader.
Mm-hmm.
It just added a lot of emotional depth and kind of carved out the characters a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right, so that is that segment for the week, and today we're going to do a new segment, if you don't mind.
Yeah,
So
it's all yours.
Figure review. I came up with this like 5 minutes ago. I know this is, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
So I brought Black Series figures today. I brought a Rogue One Darth Vader figure. This is my favorite of my collection. A fine addition to my collection, I must say.
Yeah.
Then we have Rebels Ahsoka, which I was thinking about bringing her lightsabers in today because they're very fragile and they always like to fall out. But so. Yeah.
So, what's the interesting thing about Ahsoka that kind of connects her to this show?
What do you mean? This show? Oh.
Yeah.
Well, this version of Ahsoka actually, in Rebels, she took up the codename Fulcrum when Bail Organa was like, hey, do you want to do something? She's like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And
that's what we named the show.
yeah, and then Callus took it up after that.
Yeah, because a little bit of a background. Fulcrum is kind of this. It's like a concept. It's really like it's a name for a rebel undercover spy that they just coined up. It's just they called it Fulcrum. So the idea of this, of this show, would be just that it's kind of like a secret transmission, that we're providing to you guys, kind of just like to add a little bit of fun to it. All right. So now that we got that wrapped up,
All right,
let's jump straight into the news. So right off the bat, I mean,
You want a second?
yeah, sure. Right off the bat, I mean, let's get into the most important news.
Is that
Which I mean, the most like urgent. It's Skywalker Saga, which comes out in 6 days. You said, right?
yeah, and this is episode 6, so it makes it even more ironic.
Yeah. So
Ironic.
they actually they announced a number of downloadable content characters that are going to be coming in.
They also removed the character customization feature.
Oh, they did. Oh, that's kind of sad. But yeah,
but
just leave it.
But
She's dead.
She's died. Yeah, but you can fly both Death Stars, so I guess that makes up.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You can fly the Death Star, which is pretty
Both
cool.
of them.
Yeah, so
And explore it.
So some of the DLC characters that we have from there, we got some really interesting ones. So I see that we got Ahsoka Tano. Obviously, we just went over her.
Which version?
The Jedi class of hers.
Which version of that?
I don't know. I think it's just Jedi. It could be either Clone Wars or the later Clone Wars.
There's early Clone Wars, mid Clone Wars, and then season 7.
I'm not sure, but the thing that really stood out to me, there are a number of characters from Rogue One.
Oh.
And The Mandalorian.
Ooh.
So we got Blaze Malbus, who's that guy with
I know who Malbus is.
Yeah. We got Chirrut Imwe.
Yes.
Yeah, he's that force sensitive
He's
monk.
He's not a monk. He's more of a protector.
Yeah, that's the only way I can sum him up though. We got Din Djarin, Cara
yes.
Dune. Din Djarin, if you guys didn't know, is the main character of The Mandalorian.
Are we allowed to talk about Cara Dune?
Yeah, why not?
It's like we don't talk about Bruno, but we don't talk about Cara Dune.
Yeah, I mean, Cara Dune, she's also another cool character. I really enjoyed her.
Most minifigures, but probably not.
Yeah, he'd probably be like the Hulk build that we see from Marvel.
I actually think he'll just be normal.
Oh, he'll be normal. All right,
But he's not that much. He's not that much bigger. He's like about a foot taller than most.
I guess, but the thing that I've noticed about this is like, as much as they've taken away some features, like you said, the character customization.
They have around 422 figures by the game.
They are really decking this thing out. I mean, like they are serious about it, which is just something amazing. The fact that we got the characters from The Mandalorian and just Rogue One, it's awesome.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, what are your thoughts on some of them? Like,
I'm more excited for the Rogue One DLC because I enjoyed Rogue One a lot more than The Mandalorian because, well, I just like that time period more. The late, very late. It's actually like the crossing over. It's like how Star Wars years work. It's like, think of it this way. It's counting down from 10,000 all the way to 0, which the 0 is the convergence point, like it fluctuates. And then afterward, it counts upward.
Yeah.
So it's BBY.
Before Battle of Yavin.
Yeah,
and
the
then
Battle of
ABY.
Yavin, and then ABY.
After Battle of Yavin. Yeah.
And then probably ends at around 10,000 ABY.
Yeah, so if you guys want the Skywalker Saga, get it, pre-order it. I haven't pre-ordered it yet, but I'm thinking about doing it. I couldn't find the demo. I don't know why. I
mean, it's probably.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I know why it is. It's for certain people.
Yeah, but anyway, the next piece of news. This is actually a little bit out of left field. Nobody really expected this. We got a new show about what happened to Luke's hand.
What?
When he got it cut off by Darth Vader. I know it's so weird.
Wait, is it like an animated show or is it?
I'm not sure, but I don't remember reading that part. But literally, the interesting thing about this, they're bringing back Mark Hamill for motion capture of him and his hand, and the fact that they've got now the aging technology. They're gonna de-age his hand, which is just something so weird. It's funny.
I mean, yeah, but also, was it his left hand that he lost?
It's his right hand, I'm pretty sure.
Well, because he was facing
Yeah, it's right. It's right hand. It's his right hand.
Yeah, but that doesn't make sense because if you think about it, the hand that was sort of under the ground was his right.
I'm not sure, but I think it was his right hand.
Okay, either one works.
So apparently it's going to be very expensive. So
what to do all this?
Yeah.
Well,
so So apparently, Charlie Ashby, she said that we're really excited that Mark Hamill agreed to return and do more motion capture work with his actual right hand.
Well, it's Mark Hamill, so.
Yeah. So she's the senior creative director for ILM, Industrial Light and Magic.
Oh,
yeah.
my dream job. Yes.
I know it is a pretty cool job. So she continues to say, thanks to the new advances in CGI, we've been able to actually de-age the hand to look like it actually did back in 1980. It's going to cost $25 million an episode, but it's extremely worth it. That is insane.
I mean, it's Disney.
Now imagine this is $25 million, right? Mm-hmm. Imagine the fact that this is only for his hand, right? So imagine what the Mandalorian episode cost in season 2, where we had a full de-age look. That must have been insane.
Well, actually, that was more of a deep fake. It was a combination of what they did with Rogue One, a deep fake, and Mark Hamill.
Well, yeah,
plus someone else.
That still same thing, like de-aging. It was.
Yeah, it was still a trick.
It's insane. I mean, the amount of. I mean, Disney's a huge conglomerate, so
Is Shamook gonna return to work on it?
Yeah, Shamook is actually a YouTuber that was hired because they saw he actually managed to pull the deep fake off better than Star Wars themselves.
I'm not gonna lie, he fixed a lot of deep fakes before he did Luke.
Yeah, he did Tarkin as well. Leia.
Yeah, why didn't they choose him over that? Or them? Sure. I don't know. Whatever Shamook's pronouns are. Sorry.
Yeah, but
has it been confirmed what pronouns Shamook?
I don't know.
All right.
But yeah, I think it's really interesting how much money they're putting into this.
Well, yeah, it's a hand. I wonder if it's going to be like the Addams Family, where it's just crawling around.
That'd be funny. Yeah, but I mean, it's Star Wars. They're not going to do that realistically. Now, I wonder, since it's multiple episodes, what are they going to do with it?
Well, just pull the canon comics. Get an Ugnaught, grab a lightsaber, well, the Graflex that Luke had, grab his hand, and just make them all friends.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully it's good. I mean, I don't know how to feel about it. It's kind of random,
It is, but it's still great.
All right, so the next piece of news. I mean, it's kind of
it's sad.
Yeah, it's a little bit. I mean, it's a little bit disheartening, but thankfully, things turned out better. So Matt Lanter, the guy who plays Anakin
in the Clone Wars,
yeah, he voices him. He got rushed to the ER because he had apparently. His wife said that he had a closed loop intestinal obstruction. So
Ooh.
Yeah, so his intestine kind of rolled in on itself and shut down. It was horrible. He almost died, but thankfully they rushed him to the ER.
Is he fine?
Yeah, he's fine. He's on the road to recovery. So yeah, she shared 2 posts. The first one where her hand was clasped in his, and she kind of talked about how how it was a close call, but she didn't specify what it was. So in the second post, she verified. So she's like, a small update because a lot of people have been asking. So yeah, then she goes into detail saying it's a closed loop intestinal obstruction. So yeah.
Poor guy.
Yeah, I know. But hopefully, he has a speedy recovery, and we wish him well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So So
Yeah.
anyways, yeah.
Yeah, sorry there. We experienced some technical difficulties there for a moment.
I just felt a disturbance in the force, as if 1,000 viewers cried out in terror and were suddenly silenced.
Yeah, very sad stuff. Yeah, basically what happened was, unfortunately, we had to cut it short because the thing that we did, we did make a transition from bonus block, from after school to bonus block. So if you've noticed a little bit of a change in pace in the episodes, it's just because of that.
Just suits the schedule a little better.
Yeah.
Maybe for special episodes we'll revert to our previous.
Yeah, if we have guests on or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So our last bit of news that we're talking about today is actually about a new Lando Calrissian and Luke Skywalker novel coming out.
Yeah. We never really got to see much of chemistry between the two.
Yeah, I feel like this book is kind of gonna help shed the light on that a little bit.
Yeah.
So the Star Wars provided a promotional like a little excerpt to promote the book. Essentially, they talked. They provide an excerpt where Luke is on the Seeing Stone.
All right, same Seeing Stone as in.
Yeah, Mando. He's on the Seeing Stone. He gets transported to Exegol, and he fights these Sith wraiths that have shadow blades and stuff.
I'm just curious.
Yeah.
In your opinion, do you actually like Exegol? Even if it wasn't included in the Rise of Skywalker, looking past that, do you like Exegol by itself?
Honestly, if I'm completely honest, I think it's an interesting concept with the Sith world. It's like the Sith home world because I think it used to be what was that planet in KOTOR?
Korriban? I don't know.
Korriban. Yeah.
Korriban.
Yeah. I think it's an interesting concept. Personally, I don't like it just because of the.
But if it wasn't tied to that film, I
Yeah.
somewhat liked the film.
I think it's interesting. It could provide like a story opportunity. Yeah, but with the way they used it in the sequels, I didn't like it. Yeah. So essentially, Luke is on the Seeing Stone. He gets transported into a vision, and
It's like a live vision.
yeah. He can feel, he can smell the ash, he can feel everything. So these like I think nine or these wraiths show up, and they start fighting him. The thing is, he can't feel them in the Force, which is weird. And to sum it up, eventually he gets defeated because there's like a bunch of them, right?
Oh, so the ones in the stands.
Yeah.
Same one.
So
Okay.
yeah, and then an interesting thing happens. Anakin's Force ghost shows up and like rescues him. Yeah. So it's kind of out of nowhere, honestly. It's kind of like that hand show.
Is it like the Revenge of the Sith Anakin, or
Yeah. Revenge of the Sith Anakin, light robes, Force ghost mode.
white robes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's in his Force ghost mode. So what do you think about that? It's kind of surprising.
Is he armed with his lightsaber?
Yes. Yeah. He
Okay.
uses his lightsaber as a Force ghost, which is kind of
Strange, but
Yeah.
are you open to that?
If I am, honestly, one of the things that that people are thinking about is that they're going to use that for episodes 10, 11, and 12, and but the episodes 10, 11, and 12 are going to have a different orientation than like just focusing on the story. They're going to focus on the corporeal realm, and they're going to give us a deeper understanding of what happens to you when you die, when you become a Force ghost, and these wraiths.
Only a select few become Force ghosts.
Yeah, and those wraiths may kind of be like an antithesis to those ghosts.
Okay, so the wraiths are basically like demons, if you will.
Yeah,
Can they kill Force ghosts?
I don't think. I mean, honestly, if Anakin fought them, I think they can. It's the nature of how it's all laid out is. I think it's not very known. They didn't provide enough insight into what they are. But what do you think about this direction, about this novel that they're providing?
I think I personally liked Exegol. I liked how just bleak it was. It reminded me of Mandalore, but a lot more blue and dark. And not as many mountains. But yeah, I actually think the novel's going to do well, hopefully, in my eyes. I like Lando and Luke Skywalker as characters. I like Luke with a beard. He's pretty cool looking.
Yeah. I would say honestly, me personally, I didn't like the plot of the sequels, but if there's one thing if there's a few things they had good, it's obviously Star Wars always has music score, special effects, and the way everything looks.
And I liked how they sort of resurrected the Imperial 1 class and made it a Zystum.
Yeah.
I like that design, personally.
Yeah, so, Tyler, would you mind explaining what Exegol is?
Exegol is like basically a secret planet Palpatine basically kept from Vader and basically everyone. Vader found out in the comics, rode a giant beast, literally just like a boss, confronted Palpatine. Basically, it's like a Sith shrine or temple, if you will. It's like imagine...
a Sith world,
I'm trying to describe the shape of
Of the beast?
No, of the little. It's like imagine a cube, a black cube. Split it a little in half, and give it angled sides.
And what is that serve for?
I forget the name of it, but it's basically just where Palpatine resides and does all this work to. And there's things underground and all that. Yeah,
so the backstory behind that is, I believe, I'm not too familiar on the sequel lore, but he did when he fell down the energy, whatever, the shaft of the Death Star.
The reactor shaft.
Yeah, the reactor shaft in Episode 6, he transferred his essence from there to the clones that he had ready for him in Exegol.
Yeah, but the clones, you can't clone a Force sensitive very well without many problems. So it didn't go to plan. Thus he cloned himself, non-Force sensitive. Then that clone got married and had Rey, and then Rey came back to find Palpatine later on, and the two had a talk.
Yeah. So Rey is Palpatine's granddaughter, as it turns out.
What was Palpatine? Wasn't his plan to possess Rey or something?
Yeah, he was. So the thing is, the reason why the clones didn't work out. I mean, obviously, the first thing is he tried to recreate the cells of Force sensitive.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah, it just doesn't work, and that's what they were. I think that's what the Mandalorian was showing us with Grogu, Baby Yoda. They were trying to take his cells because he was kind of the start of like all those clones, and because they had his cells, they were trying to clone Force sensitives, because he's already such a powerful being. Because Yoda species has already an affinity with the Force.
And the question is, how did the Snoke strand casts come along? How did they're Force sensitive? How?
I'm pretty sure they already had some samples of Baby Yoda's blood. Yeah, so they were able to make a Snoke, or if not, then they were just already playing with the idea, Yeah. I mean, they had Camino cloners, so
Oh yeah, they did. Oh right. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's left of Tapoka City?
Yeah. Bad Batch kind of showed it being destroyed.
Rest in peace, by the way.
Yeah.
Tapoka City.
Yeah. So back to like why it didn't work out for Palpatine. Well, the reason he needed Rey was because his Force essence, like his soul, let's just call it his soul, was so powerfully like imbued with the Force that the vessel, like the clone bodies that he made for himself,
Could not handle it.
No, they became decrepit and like old and like rotten after a few months. So he had to keep cycling through them. So the idea with the sequels was that Rey, she was powerful enough so Palpatine could use
Rey as a vessel.
Yeah, and if he did, then I guess he would be the most powerful being in the galaxy.
And then Anakin. Just imagine if Anakin just showed up and just like no.
Yeah,
don't.
Yeah, that was originally the idea. They actually had Hayden Christensen shoot a few scenes for the.
Was he on set?
The Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, they had Force Ghost scenes of Hayden Christensen for the last Rise of Skywalker, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still find it neat that Force Ghosts can interact with the physical world, and how you can see through their hand a little bit when they're holding a lightsaber.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty cool. I mean, like Obi-Wan said, if you strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you could possibly
imagine, Jinx.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I guess that implies, with this new like development in the novel that we could actually have like some detail into like what Force Ghost can't do.
Yeah. But where'd you hear about the what are you gonna call it? The post sequels?
They've been toying around with the idea of like making some more movies. Obviously, I think because I've heard that being thrown around a lot.
Are you for or against that?
Honestly, depends on which direction they take. I think I'm against that if they use they need for it to work for me, they need to shoot far into the future, past Rey and all those sequel characters. Like, what about you?
Why not just go into the past?
That is a good idea. I mean, I think that would be good for like individual movies, but like the saga goes in chronological order. Like
but hear me out. Why don't they make a Palpatine trilogy with Matt Smith as Palpatine?
That would actually be awesome.
Yeah, and Plagueis would be there.
Yeah.
And it would show like the final episode, like episode 3 of that, would show running parallel to episode 1, where he sort of like in the Plagueis novel.
Yeah.
He kills his master. They should do that. That would be awesome.
Yeah. Fun fact: J.J. Abrams actually wanted Snoke to be Plagueis.
that didn't happen.
I feel like the sequels, they started out with like a lot of good concept ideas. Like obviously what we just said about Snoke and Plagueis.
But then in my eyes, when Rian Johnson took over, I think that's what do you think if J.J. Abrams stayed through? If he stayed with it, do you think it would have turned out as it did? Yeah.
Now we're getting into the real stuff that we're gonna open up. I mean, this discussion always opens up a can of worms because, like, honestly, like if JJ were to stay, the story would have been obviously more linear, right? Yeah. But like since Ryan joined, they kind of had a competition and they wanted to see who could tell the better story, and that's not how you write a plot. You have to do it cohesively.
What if George came back?
Oh, it would be amazing. I mean, George, he had a treatment already for them.
I know.
Yeah, he had episodes 7, 8, 9 already planned out, and this is where Disney screwed him over.
Yeah. I feel bad for him. I really do. They're like, hey, George, hey, get out.
Yeah, they were actually going to, the part of the deal was that they were actually going to use his scripts, right? And then Kathleen Kennedy rejected them, even though it was part of the deal, and that's kind of how George.
What makes it sad is, even though Kathleen Kennedy probably I mean, I'm not trying to offend anyone, but Kathleen Kennedy, her morals are unclear.
Yeah.
In my eyes. I mean,
she's done a lot of good in the film industry, but she hasn't done,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she was also a friend of George. Probably is she a friend of George still? I don't know.
No. After what she did to his treatments, he's not gonna be friends with her. Yeah.
I mean, but George Lucas is also back, basically.
Oh yeah, he's writing for Andor, which is exciting.
But Andor's already finished. It wrapped.
Yeah, so he did some writing for Andor, which is actually
did
yeah,
or
he
is?
did. He did.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm actually excited for Andor. I feel like it's going to be
yeah.
an underrated show.
I hear Vader might appear in that.
Yeah, the thing people are excited about Andor is it doesn't essentially, it's not going to be, people are not essentially excited about Cassian Andor as a character, which I am.
Cassian's great.
Yeah, but they're more excited about the opportunities it's gonna open up because during that time, you know, the rebellion is all like, well, the Rogue. Yeah.
Are we going to see Bail Organa and Ahsoka there?
Yeah, yeah. So the reason I'm looking forward to Cassian is because it's gonna, you know, add to that, you know, because the reason I'm looking forward is because Rogue One showed all that grittiness and that like the dark side to the rebellion. So I think it might show that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are you looking forward to in Cassian?
The return of Krennic, Orson Krennic.
Yeah.
I really like Orson. He's great.
Yeah.
Hopefully Vader, maybe Tarkin. I wonder how they're going to handle. If they do have Tarkin, how do you think they're going to handle him this time? Do you think they're going to do an upgraded version of the Rogue One? They're probably going to use the CG head, but with some of Shamook's work on top.
Yeah, they're going to do that. They're going to update Tarkin and stuff.
Do you think the Tarkin estate and his family would be okay with that? Because they actually, in Rogue One, they were very picky in post-production.
They were fine with it, I would say, yeah. I mean, with the final product, yeah.
Yeah, with the final product, but...
Yeah. I mean, that pretty much wraps up the news.
Yeah.
Let's move on to our book recommendations. So, Tyler, why don't you go first?
All right, so I have a very special book. If any of you guys know who Ralph McQuarrie is, and... Oh, Vader
It's
fell
fine.
over.
It's fine. Just ignore him.
Yeah. Oh. They fell over. No. So I have the Ralph McQuarrie concept art book. It's basically tells the original trilogy with Ralph McQuarrie's concept art.
Yes.
And it's really beautiful here.
Yeah. Who's Ralph McQuarrie?
He's the original concept artist, painter. He's a fully. In fact, he's actually responsible for Anthony Daniels to be C-3PO.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like this. You know, he really helped like kind of mold the theme of Star Wars and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And he got the executives to agree with him.
Yeah. So my book, it's actually pretty interesting. It's called Splinter of the Mind's Eye.
Ooh.
This is fun fact. This was the first Star Wars expanded universe book ever written. It was written by Alan Dean Foster, and I mean it's. Yeah, here you go. Cool. It's pretty interesting. The story basically.
It has some of Ralph's art on it.
Yeah, I know. This is one of his concept
what do you say?
Pictures right here.
We actually brought both books that involve Ralph McQuarrie. What do you think the odds of that are?
I mean that's pretty good odds.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a brief rundown. Luke and Leia they kind of crashed on the planet Mimban after they're on like I forget the details exactly, but they're rendezvousing to a certain point for the Rebel Alliance. They crash land on there, and they find out that the Empire is there for a reason. They want the Kyber crystal. Now, the Kyber crystal is just to
in
put
this context.
Yeah, just to put into perspective, since this was the first ever book written, like there was no lore on Star Wars at all. So Alan Dean Foster had to make it up all himself. So
George gave him complete freedom.
Yeah,
without tampering with A New Hope.
Yeah, the Kyber crystal. Yeah, it was the most important. It was like a power source in the galaxy. It was pretty.
It had healing properties, but if you took it away from its little shrine, it didn't work.
Yeah, but Vader was gonna get it, and like he was gonna destroy the galaxy with it. It doesn't make sense because it's so early. It's such an early book. But yeah, essentially Vader like he's throwing like white orbs and stuff, and like Luke already is like efficient with the lightsaber. He kills Vader and cuts his arm off. Yeah,
kills Vader.
Yeah, he falls to his death and like in this Jedi temple. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I mean,
that's sad.
Yeah, but yeah, that pretty much wraps up the show. For this episode, we thank you all for watching, the audience. Any last words?
May the Force be with you.
Yeah, always.